Hello everyone, this is Red Dude. What are some basic things about having sex that a lot of people don't realize? Communication is 90% of it all. If you and your partner are not communicating on what each other like and being honest, the sex will never be as good as it could be. Communicate. The long time isn't always good. Being in love actually makes sex better. Men have insecurities too and are allowed to withdraw consent without being emotionally blackmailed. Boys, don't clench your ass, try to keep that whole region as relaxed as possible, you'll last longer. There are lots of funny awkward sounds and moments. It's okay to laugh and joke about it in the moment. Just because your last partner liked how you did it, your next maybe won't. All women, and all men, are different. Many of us men think we are good at licking pussy, that we have found the secret of making women cum. You have, if you understand that everyone is different. If you are doing the same on everyone, which most men do, the chances are, you are shit at licking pussy. If you're a couple who has saved sex until marriage, like a lot of people still do, I'm not judging, a great way to get over the wedding night jitters would be to shower together. You get used to seeing each other naked. You get more comfortable with being together in such an intimate and vulnerable way without getting overly sexual. You get used to each other's touch, you relieve a lot of stress, you get cleaned up, you get mentally prepared for what's to come. My husband did this for me, can confirm, helped a lot to get over my fear and nerves. He was so sweet and the whole shower just spent rubbing me down and kissing me and touching me gently. The sex was awesome, really thankful he made my first time memorable in a good way. Also, guess what? You also save water. I've heard about eating pussy start like a kitten drinking milk and finish like a bulldog eating oatmeal. It's also not universal, but it has served me well. Always move stuff from the bed that is a pain in the ass to wash. I've ruined the mood before not wanting to wash and dry a king-size comforter that was washed recently. Hijacking this to add a towel. Just designate a sex towel and put it down beforehand, it makes cleanup way easier. My current GF thought I was a genius for doing this, apparently before she'd just sleep in nasty sheets. TBF, I saw in an amateur porno, but a good idea is a good idea. It's also kinda fun to come home from work and walk into the bedroom and see the sex towel on the bed already 0 to 100% horny in no time flat. The importance of foreplay. If you do it right, it's 70% foreplay and 30% actual penetration. Good foreplay saves us guys from worrying about not lasting long enough. How do you do foreplay effectively? Women here, my guy starts foreplay like hours in advance, doesn't need to be right before the main event. If we're sitting on the couch watching a movie and he has his arm around me, he'll lightly graze my nipple so subtly that I almost don't even notice. Or when we're standing in the kitchen, he'll put his hand on my lower back and just barely slide it down across my butt. He knows exactly what turns me on, and by the time we're actually in the bedroom and naked, my first orgasm happens within the first 2 minutes. Sometimes he's not even in all the way. My advice is to learn what your partner likes and what their body responds to, and for real, my body is so well trained by him that just putting his arm around me immediately gets me tingling because I know what's coming. This is basically just Gomez Adams: woo her, admire her, make her feeling like she's the most sublime creature on earth, and realizing being romantically affectionate equals foreplay. When a girl says you need to go slow when putting it in the DOESNT means slowly push, and it means slowly go back and forth and get the whole thing wet and give the vagina time to adjust. I happen to have a small vagina, and it's not from lack of foreplay. Even if I get the whole thing wet by sucking it, it still needs time for the vagina to adjust to the size, and no, I don't like dildos. Just slowly work your way in by going back and forth and slowly inching your way in with time, not just slowly push it in within a minute. It's not the same. Women are more likely to orgasm from a grinding motion rather than thrusting in and out. Keep your pelvis in contact with hers the whole time for best results. If you have any similar stories, share it with us in the comments. Harder and faster, not the same thing. But dear God, when they're close to orgasm, do the same thing that's working. Not something else. I've been told the problem with that is that as soon as men know we're almost there, their arousal goes into overdrive and they'll blow like Krakatoa if they don't change what they're doing. So to avoid orgasming before she does, they change what they're doing, not realizing that doing so means all progress is lost on her end. Yep, this is my problem. Once I can tell she's getting close, I've got about 5 more seconds of doing what I'm doing before I spooge, which is probably about 25 seconds less than she needs. At minimum, we always get her off afterwards, but it would be nice to cum together for a change. If it's dry, there is a very high chance of something tearing or splitting or ripping or snapping. So what do you do? Chow down baby, but also, lube is your friend. Some men make a lot of pre-cum, some don't. Same goes for women. You're not a failure because your body doesn't self-lubricate all that well. There's no shame in lube. The number one weirdest part of all pornography is just how dry it looks. Some dude whips out his thunderous cock and the chick is like, yeah daddy, give it to me. While rubbing her pussy, which is drier than the Mojave. At this point I am usually concerned, but then, with all the awareness of a troglodyte, the dude will inevitably just jam it in dry over my protesting screams, and the chick gets to pretend like it's the best thing ever, while smiling away the smell of cooked meat emanating from her ferociously. Rug-burned pussy. It's nothing like porn, it's awkward. A lot of famous positions can be uncomfortable. Some people are really quiet, beds or squeaky animals will jump up on the bed, there will be weird smells and sounds. Laughing is okay. Make sure you've freshened up, nothing is as gross as a dirty beehole. Wash your fucking balls too. I once was told I had the cleanest dick she'd ever been near, and I've carried that with me forever. Take a shower, wash your hands, brush your teeth, trim your fingernails. It creates an inflated and sometimes artificial sense of attachment. Women. It is incredibly important to pee after sex. It's not as clean as they show in movies shows. You don't go from having sex to getting up, putting on a skirt with no underwear, and getting back to the office. If I did that, I'd be leaving a cum trace like a slutty snail. Between lube, sweat, and cum, both people are going to be sticky. South of the border, peeing after sex helps prevent utis and is a good time for a quick wipe and tidy up. Thanks for watching, this was Red Dude. If you enjoyed the content, make sure to check out my other content.